All right, ready for another deep dive? Today we're heading east.
To the east.
Exploring Journey to the West. It's a legendary Chinese novel that's been captivating readers for centuries.
Centuries.
And it's not just a story, it's a wild mix of history, fantasy,
It is.
and spiritual allegory.
A fascinating example of how a real historical event can become the seed for an epic tale.
Exactly. And we're talking about the real-life journey of the Buddhist monk Xuanzang to India back in the 7th century.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine setting off on foot to another country just to collect sacred texts?
Oh, absolutely. And back then, it was a monumental undertaking.
It really was.
And remember, this was during the Tang Dynasty, a time when Buddhism was still pretty new to China.
Mm-hmm.
Xuanzang believed that obtaining these scriptures from India, well, he thought they were crucial for the growth and understanding of Buddhism in his homeland.
So he wasn't just on a sightseeing tour.
No.
This was a deeply spiritual mission for him. But here's where things get interesting. He actually went against the emperor's orders to make this journey happen.
That's right. Emperor Taizong had banned all travel outside of China at the time.
Wow.
But Xuanzang's dedication to his faith was so strong that he defied the ban and embarked on this epic pilgrimage. And you know what? He spent 17 years abroad.
17 years.
Yeah.
That's commitment.
Oh, yeah.
Facing incredible hardships and challenges along the way.
He did.
So what happened when he finally came back to China?
Well,
Was he thrown in jail for disobeying the emperor?
not quite. Despite initially defying that ban,
Right.
Xuanzang's journey ultimately earned him respect and admiration.
Ah.
When he returned, with a vast collection of Buddhist scriptures, I might add, Emperor Taizong actually welcomed him back and provided support for translating and sharing the texts.
That's a twist.
Yeah.
It seems like his dedication really made an impact.
It did.
So we have this incredible real-life journey as a foundation.
You do.
Then Journey to the West, the novel, comes along, and, well, it injects a hefty dose of the fantastical into the mix, right?
Exactly. It takes the historical core of Xuanzang's journey and layers on elements from Chinese mythology, folklore, you name it, even Taoist philosophy. You've got demons, magic, talking animals.
I love it.
It turns this pilgrimage into a thrilling adventure.
That's what makes it so much fun to read.
It is.
It's like history meets a supernatural blockbuster film.
Yeah.
And speaking of captivating encounters, we can't talk about Journey to the West without introducing the unforgettable cast of characters.
Oh, absolutely. They're what bring the story to life.
They are?
Each character is so unique, and I'd argue they each represent different aspects of human nature.
Let's start with the leader of the pack.
Cup.
Xuanzang, the monk, based on the historical Xuanzang.
Right.
He's on this quest for enlightenment,
He is.
seeking scriptures to bring wisdom back to China.
Back to China, yeah.
But unlike his real-life counterpart, this Xuanzang isn't exactly a warrior monk. Is he?
No, he's actually quite helpless on his own.
Right.
Relies heavily on his disciples for protection.
Okay.
And to make things even more dangerous, in the novel, there's this belief that eating Xuanzang's flesh grants immortality.
Oh, no.
That's why he's constantly being targeted by demons and other nefarious creatures.
Okay, that explains why he needs some serious protection.
He does.
And that brings us to, well, in my opinion, the most captivating character.
Oh.
Sun Wukong, the legendary Monkey King.
Ah, yes, the Monkey King.
He is just a force of nature.
He is.
Born from a stone, possessing these incredible powers.
Incredible.
He's learned Taoist magic, can shapeshift into 72 different forms, and wields a magical staff.
Oh, that staff.
That can shrink or grow to enormous sizes.
Yes.
Plus, he's got a mischievous streak a mile wide.
He does, doesn't he?
This is a monkey who caused havoc in heaven, challenging the Jade Emperor himself.
That's right.
You have to admire his audacity.
You do.
But his rebellious nature, it's part of his charm, but it also gets him into a lot of trouble.
It does.
As punishment for his antics, he's imprisoned under a mountain by the Buddha for 500 years.
500 years? That's a long time.
It's a long time.
It is.
So how does he end up joining Xuanzang on this quest?
Well, that's where Guanyin, the Bodhisattva of compassion, comes in.
Okay.
She guides Xuanzang to the mountain where Sun Wukong is imprisoned.
Right.
And instructs him to free the Monkey King.
Okay.
The idea is that by helping Xuanzang on his pilgrimage, Sun Wukong can atone for his past transgressions.
It sounds like a match made in, well, maybe not heaven.
Yeah.
But definitely a divine plan.
It was a plan.
But I bet having the Monkey King as a disciple,
Yeah.
it comes with its own set of challenges, right?
Oh, you're absolutely right. Guanyin gives Tang Xuanzang a special headband that he can use to control Sun Wukong's impulsive behavior.
Okay.
It's a reminder that even with all his power, the Monkey King still needs to learn discipline and self-control.
So we have the pious monk and the mischievous superpowered monkey.
We do.
But the party doesn't stop there.
It doesn't.
Tang Xuanzang has a few more companions joining him on this adventure.
A few more, yeah.
Next we have Zhu Baji,
Often
often affectionately called Pigsy.
Pigsy.
He's, well, as his name suggests, quite fond of food and women.
And women!
I think I might get along with him.
You might.
So what's his story? How does a half-pig, half-man end up on this pilgrimage to enlightenment?
Well, Zhu Baji was once a high-ranking commander in Heaven's naval forces.
Wow.
But he had a bit of a weakness for the ladies.
Wow.
And was banished to the mortal realm for, shall we say, getting a little too friendly with a moon goddess.
Oh, dear.
A mishap with the reincarnation wheel.
Okay.
Landed him in the body of a pig man.
Oh, that's rough.
It was rough.
So he goes from heavenly commander to, wow.
It's Pigsy.
I guess everyone has their own unique path to enlightenment.
They do?
And despite his flaws, gluttony, laziness,
Yes.
a bit of a lustful streak,
A bit.
Zhu Baji is a powerful fighter and a loyal companion to Tang Xuanzang.
He is.
He brings a certain earthy humor to the group dynamic.
He does.
I'm starting to see why this story has resonated with readers for centuries.
Yeah.
These characters are so relatable despite their fantastical elements.
They are.
They remind us that even on a spiritual journey, we all have our weaknesses and our quirks.
We do. We do.
But there's one more member of the team we haven't mentioned yet.
One more.
We can't forget Sha Wujing, also known as Friar San, or Sandy.
Ah, Sandy.
He's the quiet one of the bunch, but don't let that fool you.
Don't let.
He's a formidable fighter, and perhaps most importantly, he's the peacemaker of the group.
He is.
Often mediating between the bickering Sun Wukong and Zhu Baji.
That's a full-time job.
It sounds like it.
It is.
So what's his backstory?
Before joining the pilgrimage, Sandy was a celestial general guarding the imperial chariot.
Oh.
However, he was banished to the mortal realm after accidentally breaking a precious crystal goblet.
Talk about bad luck.
Bad luck.
So we've got this motley crew, the pious monk, the mischievous monkey,
Yes.
the gluttonous pigman, and the stoic peacemaker,
That's our crew.
all setting off on this perilous journey to India.
Yes.
Oh, did I mention they also have a dragon for transportation?
They do.
We can't forget the white dragon horse,
No.
King Xuanzang's faithful steed.
That's right.
He's actually the transformed son of Dragon King, atoning for his own past mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
This team is truly a fascinating mix of personalities and backstories.
It is.
It sounds like they're in for an epic adventure.
It's an adventure, all right.
Yeah.
But it's not just about fighting demons and overcoming obstacles.
Right.
Remember, at its heart,
Yeah.
Journey to the West is about the journey of self-discovery, the path to enlightenment.
Right.
And these characters, with all their flaws and strengths, they embody the challenges and triumphs we all face on our own personal journeys.
You've officially piqued my curiosity.
Good.
Let's dive into some of their most memorable encounters. What are some of the challenges that really put this team to the test?
Well, the novel takes on a more episodic structure, with each chapter presenting a new obstacle or a new demon to overcome. For example, there's this one encounter with a group of seductive spider demons.
Spider demons.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds both creepy and intriguing.
With each chapter presenting a new obstacle or a new demon to overcome. For example, there's this one encounter with a group of seductive spider demons.
Spider demon.
Oh.
Okay, that sounds both creepy and intriguing. What makes this encounter so memorable?
Well, it's a classic example of how Journey to the West blends action, humor, and even some subtle social commentary. Picture this. Tang Xuanzang and his disciples stumble upon a seemingly idyllic dwelling adorned with beautiful silken webs.
Sounds inviting so far?
Okay.
Maybe a little too inviting.
Exactly. Inside, they encounter 7 alluring spider sisters, each more captivating than the last.
Okay.
They offer the weary travelers food, rest,
Mhm.
and even some flirtatious attention.
Oh no, I think I see where this is going. They're not just offering tea and hospitality, are they?
Not exactly. These charming hostesses are actually demons with a rather unsavory appetite.
Oh.
They plan to capture Tang Xuanzang, and, well, let's just say his supposed immortality-granting flesh is the main ingredient on their menu.
Okay, that took a dark turn. So, how does our fearless team escape this sticky situation. Does the Monkey King swoop in and save the day?
He certainly plays a pivotal role. Sun Wukong, ever the perceptive one, quickly realizes that these aren't your average friendly neighbors. He uses his shape-shifting abilities to transform into a tiny fly and spy on the Spider Sisters. That's how he overhears their wicked plot to capture Tang Xuanzang.
Classic Monkey King.
Yeah.
Always thinking on his feet. Or should I say wings? But it's not just about brute force with him, is it? There's always a bit of cleverness to his approach.
Absolutely. He understands that sometimes outsmarting your opponent is more effective than a head-on confrontation. Right. In this case, he uses his knowledge of the spider demon's weakness, their fear of sunlight, to his advantage.
Oh, clever. So he doesn't just fight them directly. He uses their own fear against them.
Exactly. But there's another layer to this encounter that I find particularly fascinating.
Okay.
Some scholars interpret the spider demons as representing the perceived threat of female power.
Really?
Especially in a patriarchal society.
That's a really interesting interpretation.
Yeah.
It adds a whole new dimension to the story.
Yeah.
It's not just about good versus evil. It's also reflecting societal anxieties and power dynamics.
Precisely. Journey to the West is full of these multi-layered narratives that work on different levels.
Yeah.
You can enjoy it as a thrilling adventure, but there's always a deeper meaning waiting to be uncovered.
Okay, you've sold me on the spider demon encounter. But I know Journey to the West is full of these captivating episodes. What's another adventure that stands out in your mind?
There are so many to choose from, but one that I find particularly memorable and a bit humorous is the tale of the Flaming Mountains.
Flaming mountains? That sounds intense. What kind of fiery obstacle are we talking about here?
Imagine mountains so scorching hot that they are literally on fire, blocking the path of our pilgrims.
Oh my gosh.
It's the classic example of a trial that can't be overcome with brute force alone. Even Sun Wukong's incredible strength is no match for the relentless flames.
So how do they get past this fiery barrier? Surely the Monkey King has some trick up his sleeve.
He does. After some investigation, Sun Wukong discovers that the only way to extinguish the flames is to borrow a magical fan from a rather unexpected source. Princess Iron Fan.
Wait, Princess Iron Fan? Isn't she married to the bold Demon King?
Yes.
One of Sun Wukong's biggest rivals.
You've got a good memory for Journey to the West lore. Yes, it's the very same Princess Iron Fan. As you can imagine, this makes for a rather awkward family reunion.
I can't even imagine the tension. So how does Sun Wukong convince his enemy's wife to lend him this all-powerful fan?
It's a hilarious sequence of events. It involves disguise, trickery, a miniaturized Sun Wukong being swallowed by the princess, a battle inside her belly. Right. And finally, a negotiated agreement.
A battle inside her belly. Yeah. Wow, that's taking Journey to the West to a whole new level of weird and wonderful. But why didn't Sun Wukong just take the fan by force?
That's a great question, and it highlights an important theme in the story. Journey to the West is not always about raw power. It's about using your wits, negotiating, and sometimes even showing humility. Remember, this is ultimately a spiritual journey. The characters are constantly being tested and challenged to grow, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually.
That makes sense. So these encounters are more than just action-packed spectacles. They're opportunities for the characters, and maybe even the readers, to learn valuable lessons about themselves.
Exactly. And it's not always easy. There are setbacks, conflicts, and temptations along the way. But ultimately, the goal is to reach a higher level of understanding, both about the world and about oneself.
Okay. I'm really starting to appreciate the depth and complexity of Journey to the West. It's so much more than just a fun adventure story. But let's not forget, they're on a very specific mission. They're headed to Vulture Peak in India to obtain the sacred Buddhist scriptures. What's it like when they finally reach their destination after all these trials and tribulations?
Well, the scene when they finally arrive at Vulture Peak is both majestic and surprisingly humorous. Well, the scene when they finally arrive at Vulture Peak is both majestic and surprisingly humorous.
So they finally make it to Vulture Peak in India. After all those wild encounters, I bet they're ready for a peaceful moment with the Buddha.
You'd think so, right? But even their encounter with the Buddha is infused with a blend of reverence and that playful humor that Journey to the West is known for.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. What happens? Does the Buddha greet them with open arms and shower them with ancient wisdom?
Well, not exactly. When they finally stand before the Buddha, he initially offers them blank scrolls.
Blank scrolls? Seriously? After that epic journey, he hands them nothing.
It might seem like a bit of a letdown, but it's actually a brilliant test of their sincerity.
Oh?
Remember, this entire pilgrimage has been about more than just physically obtaining the scriptures. It's
Yeah.
about the internal transformation, the
Yeah.
journey of the heart and mind.
That's a good point. It's easy to get fixated on the destination, but the real growth happens along the way.
Yeah.
So how do Xuanzang and his disciples react to this, let's call it, unexpected welcome gift?
At first, they're a bit confused, even a little disappointed.
Yeah, I bet.
But then they realize that the true value of their journey lies in the lessons they've learned, the challenges they've overcome, and the spiritual growth they've achieved.
So they essentially passed the Buddhist test by demonstrating that they understand it's not about the physical objects, but about the internal transformation.
Exactly. And of course, after this test of their sincerity,
Right.
the Buddha does bestow upon them the authentic scriptures,
Okay.
filled with profound teachings.
It's like the ultimate reward after a long and arduous quest. They get the prize, but more importantly, they've proven they're worthy of it. So they head back to China, scriptures in hand. What kind of reception did they receive?
They return to a hero's welcome.
Awesome.
Their epic adventure has become legendary,
Yeah.
and each of them is rewarded with a fitting position in the celestial bureaucracy.
Okay, I'm ready for the grand finale here. What heavenly roles do they earn?
Well, Xuanzang, having achieved the highest level of spiritual understanding, attains Buddhahood.
It's like the ultimate promotion. He goes from humble pilgrim to, well, Buddha. That's incredible.
Yeah.
What about Sun Wukong? Does his mischievous nature finally catch up to him?
Even the Monkey King, despite his rebellious past,
Yeah.
is recognized for his growth and contributions. He also ascends to Buddhahood,
Wow.
earning the title of Victorious Fighting Buddha,
Okay.
acknowledging his incredible power and his ultimate triumph over his own inner demons.
I love that even the Monkey King, with all his flaws, finds redemption and enlightenment. It gives me hope for the rest of us. What about Pigsy and Sandy? Do they get their own heavenly gigs?
Of course. Even Pigsy, despite his love for food and his tendency to take the easy way out, is rewarded. He becomes the cleaner of the altars,
Oh,
which,
gotcha.
let's be honest, is a perfect role for him,
It is.
considering his insatiable appetite.
I can totally picture him happily munching on all the excess offerings. And what about Sandy? He always struck me as the most reliable and grounded member of the team.
He's definitely the steady force throughout the journey, and fittingly, he becomes an arhat,
Okay.
a highly esteemed spiritual being known for wisdom and enlightenment.
So it's a happy ending for everyone. It's heartwarming to see that each character, despite their flaws, finds a place where they belong and are recognized for their unique contributions.
That's the beauty of Journey to the West, isn't it? It reminds us that the path to enlightenment is not about perfection, but about growth, transformation, and ultimately finding our place in the grand scheme of things.
It's been an amazing journey exploring Journey to the West with you. I feel like I've not only gained a deeper understanding of the story itself, but also discovered some valuable insights about life, perseverance, and the power of self-discovery.
I'm so glad to hear that. And remember, this deep dive has only scratched the surface of this incredible tale. Journey to the West is a story that can be revisited time and time again,
Right.
and each reading can reveal new layers of meaning.
That's what makes it a true classic. For our listeners out there, if this deep dive has sparked your curiosity, I encourage you to pick up a copy of Journey to the West or check out one of its many adaptations. It's a story that truly has something for everyone, whether you're seeking adventure, humor, spiritual wisdom, or simply a captivating escape into a world of mythology and wonder.
And who knows, maybe this exploration will inspire you to embark on your own journey of self-discovery. After all, we all have our own metaphorical demons to conquer, our own paths to forge, and our own unique potential waiting to be unlocked.
Well said. And with that, we reach the end of our deep dive into Journey to the West. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.